This is V from a Canadian RV, right? And we're carrying on with the Ford Museum. And we're going to be covering two areas. They're called Driving America and Driven to Win, Racing in America. But first, let's start off with one of the very first RVs that the Ford Motor Company ever made. So this is what we're looking at right now. This is a 1975 Ford Motor Coach. And a 1900 Wood electric truck. Another look at the back. Now this trailer caught me by surprise in this corner, so I had to go see what it was. A 1935 Stagecoach travel trailer. It looked like it was made mostly of wood. Another quick look at the RV. And all through here, there was all kinds of transportation vehicles. Now this was a real cool car that I'm coming up to, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I never did see one of these, but it was only a concept vehicle. In 1974, the Warrior concept car, which probably never made the production line. Now this one here was quite interesting. We're going to come back to this one. A 1927 LaSalle Roadster. A 1936 Lincoln Zephyr sedan. a 1956 Continental Mark II. Now, what this was, as I passed and I said we're coming back to it, this is a 1983 Honda, the very first Honda that was ever produced in the United States. So now what we're walking into is another area called a Sports Car Performance Center. And this was really cool to see all of these performance cars in this area. So let's keep watching. And this was a real neat car. This was the 24-hour Le Mans race that they do. And I guess this car was never cleaned up and it was left in its original state. This was a real neat display of, I guess, all the vitals that come off the car and the pit crew can watch. Now what we're coming up to here, this was a clay model that I guess they fastened or got most of the parts off it when they were building the car. And it was the evolution of the GT. And I guess this must have been the area when they were testing vehicles to see how they would fall apart or how well they would stay together also. And some of the classic cars of the Indy 500. And some of the vehicles that they did some off-road racing with. Now this area was really neat. These were the salt flats and some of the vehicles that had the speed records for the time. The 1965 Goldenrod held the speed record for more than 25 years. Now this area was really cool. It was a mock-up setup of a pit crew. So what you had to do is jack up the car, remove the two tires, and then fuel it all in time. And it would the counter would tell you how long it would be. And you could see some folks in the front car there, they were just getting trained by the technician to show them how to do it. So this was really cool. You could actually do a pit stop crew and time yourself by removing tires, jacking up, jacking down, and fueling the vehicle. A real nice display. In this area, it was drag racing. And they had two vehicles that were involved in drag racing. Really cool to see. And we're going to end right now with our Chevy Camaro. This is V from A Canadian RVer. This was part 2. More videos to come. Please subscribe. Please give us a thumbs up. And we'll see you in our next video from the Henry Ford Museum.